Hey, Dodgers Nation, it's the 3 Up, 3 Down podcast, and we're talking about the Dodgers offense blowing yet another crucial game down the stretch. Welcome back to the 3 Up, 3 Down podcast. My name is Eric Elo, your host for this 5-minute Dodgers Nation production. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. That is at EEULAU. I'm recording this on Thursday evening, meaning the Dodgers lost hours and hours ago to the Cardinals, the fourth and final game of that series, bringing the Dodgers record to 3 wins and 4 losses on the San Francisco-St. Louis road trip. Very disappointing. The Dodgers are now 2.5 games back. And everyone's talking about Dave Roberts, Cody Bellinger, the bullpen games, all variables. But let's talk about what the real problem with this team is and what's been the problem since early August. The offense, which is loaded with all-stars, has been average at best. You look at OPS, 17th in the league. You look at runs, they're 15th in the league. This roster, this lineup should be doing a whole hell of a lot more. And Cody Bellinger, we talked about it last episode. Yeah, he's been god-awful. He has sucked. There's no other way to put it. There's no reason to mince words with that. And I think it is a piece of it. But you also got to talk about Max Muncy, Chris Taylor. Justin Turner did have a couple of home runs. Actually, all those guys homered in the St. Louis series. But you look at their collection of stats since August 1st, and it's not very pretty. Look, the Dodgers hit a bunch, 6 home runs in that St. Louis series. That's great, including Albert Pujols' homecoming home run, part 2, which was fantastic. I'm here for it. But look, the Dodgers still lost a game today that I think they definitely should have won. And you go back through, now you're only 2.5 back, and you go back and you're going to start looking at games where your offense lost a game to Ranger Suarez in Philadelphia. They lost 2-1 in that game in early August. You're looking at a 4-2 loss to Colorado with Kyle Freeland, who has been really, really bad for the last year and a half. You lost 4-2 to him in a game you probably should have won. And then on Friday's most recent loss to the Giants, look, Scalafani, he pitched a really good game, but still, you only put up 2 runs in that game, and you look at those names in that lineup, and they should be doing a better job. And it falls back to Max Muncy, Chris Taylor, Justin Turner, and Cody Bellinger. So if I'm doing my math right, you only get 8 batters on the cards. That means half your guys have been in a horrendous slump for 6 weeks. Sorry, I'm using the word horrendous a lot, but it's needed for this situation right now. So let's start with our man, Max Muncy. And I love Max Muncy. And I just want to preface this too. I think all these guys can bounce back in the next couple of weeks. My point is that pitching is never going to get as good as you've got since August 1st, where they have a 2.32 ERA as a staff. There's not much else the pitching staff can do. They're at 2.32 ERA since August 1st. And you're still losing games to guys like Jake frickin' Woodford. I had to write down his name, Woodford Reserve, like you did today, 2-1. And absolutely nobody holding you to 1 run. So you get back to Max Muncy, an all-star. Chris Taylor, all-star. Justin Turner, all-star. And Bellinger, who's been an MVP, but we've already kind of hammered Bellinger enough here. So let's talk about Chris Taylor for a second, a guy who's struggling almost as much as Cody Bellinger, but isn't nearly getting talked about as much. You look at a 580 OPS for Chris Taylor since August 1st, a K rate of 35.3%, which is the 5th highest in all of baseball in that time frame. He has a higher strikeout rate than Cody Bellinger. He's actually tied in RBI with Bellinger at 12. He's deep in a slump, and it's definitely not helping out this team. Another all-star who's coming back down to earth in the last several weeks and down this home stretch where the Dodgers need every single game as they chase the Giants is Max Muncy. OPS not as bad at 779, but the strikeout rate at 26.2. And the big thing for him, the walk rate plummeting in the first half, 18.2%. Now, 8.2%. That is a huge drop-off for Muncy. I think he's a little closer to getting back into the groove than Chris Taylor is, and the guy who's even closer to getting back, but who has also deserved some blame for this offense for being half of that lineup that's not getting its job done, is Justin Turner. The guy's hit 222 during this time frame we're talking about, which is August 1st, in case you haven't caught on. A 683 OPS, a weighted runs created plus of 91, meaning he's a below-average hitter. Yeah, Dave Roberts has made some bad decisions. Bellinger has been awful. They've also lost some close games that they should have won. And this lineup, which a lot of managers would just kill to fill out the card on, when you got Trey Turner, Mookie Betts, I'm not going to go around the whole diamond. This lineup is loaded, and they should do a better job. And they shouldn't be losing games like they did today to the Cardinals when you need to keep lockstep with the Giants. I think they can still win the division. I'm not completely losing my marbles here. It's just everyone's talking about the bullpen games and all of that. I'm sorry, they haven't done that bad in the bullpen games in the last couple of weeks. And it is going to come to a head now with the bullpen's a little more tired, but luckily they have Kershaw and Gonsolin coming back. But this offense might be the reason, if they keep playing like this, why the Dodgers don't take the division and get put in that wild card game. They got some time. They don't have a lot of time. But this offense needs to be better than league average with the names and the payroll that this squad has.